Deadpool, whose the real name is Wade Winston Wilson, is a comic character created by the writer Fabian Nicieza and the artist Rob Liefeld, published by Marvel Comics and appeared for the first time in February 1998 in New Mutants. For his constant patter, is surnamed the Merc with a Mouth. He is known for his humor made by double meanings and reference to old movies, TV series, songs, and popular images. His name is similar to that of the character of DC comic Deathstroke, that is called Slade Wilson. Both are mercenaries and expert swordsmen, wearing killer's tight garments and a mask that covers all the face. For the many similarities is thought that to the plagiarism of Liefeld. Later, with the intervention of Nicieza, the two mercenaries changed radically from each other. The website Imagine Game Networks collocate Deadpool at the 31st position in the rank of the 100 heroes of the story of comics, after Green Arrow and before Tim Drake. Deadpool is a powerful being because he knows that he is in a comic, and so he changed the reality at his desire. The Marvel Cinematic Universe created Deadpool starting by the stories of comics, but in some points we can see that the plot and the characters change. The movie, directed by Tim Miller, is interpreted by Ryan Reynolds. All the story started with Deadpool, able to break the fourth wall. The fourth wall consists in an imaginary wall which is used in cinema, theater, television, through which the public observes the action which takes place in the opera that is represented and is part of the suspension of the existing doubt between fictional work and the viewer. The presence of the fourth wall is one of the certainty most accomplishments of fiction. For this reason, it led some artists to attract the direct attention on it to obtain a dramatic effect. The break of fourth wall is also used to obtain a comic effect. Someone considered the unexpected break of fourth wall so jarring that it in reality damaged the humor of the story. As we can see both in the comic and in the movies, we have the fourth wall. Deadpool, both in the movie and the comic, speaks with the people that are looking at him, also revealing some information of the comics. The important thing is he knows that he is in a comics. In the initial scene of the film, Deadpool wants to ambush a convoy to kill Francis at screen, known with the pseudonym of Ajax, for an experiment to heal from cancer that struck him. He remains completely disfigured. Deadpool, at the beginning of film, wants that the viewers know his story. 2 years before, Wade Wilson, former Special Forces with 41 killing assets, after he was dishonorably discharged. To survive, he decided to be a mercenary. The principal differences that we can see in the film and the comic we can find in the characters. The figure of Deadpool in the film was created with an experiment that stimulated mutagenic genes, whereas in the comic it is struggled a virus X, an extract of genes of Wolverine. For this reason they have the similar healing factor. This ability is completely different of the other characters that are equipped, since for some reason is connected to the end-stage cancer of Wade. Save his life but regenerate in supernatural way, also the tumor mass and consequently devastating more and more his body and the mind. Now indeed the vital, physical and psychic functions on the Merc with the Mouth proves that are constantly active and accelerated by a continuous process of degeneration and regeneration of the cells of his mutated tumor. Wade can regenerate completely and in few seconds will damage organs and fracture bones, and he can even regrow entire lost extremities. Any attempt to kill him is futile. Thanks to his generic factor, Deadpool has a superhuman strength, resistance, velocity, and agility. This because while normally the human brain sees that the organism could not use the maximum potential since he makes actions over a certain Intensity could gravely compromise the health or even cause the death. Wade is not affected of this limit thanks to his ability. His power also involves an incredible acceleration of metabolism. Thanks to it, sure enough, lactic acid and the toxins that are normally formed in human body during the physical activity and that lead gradually to suffer the tiredness have an incredible diminished effect in his body. This allows him to use his maximal physical ability for several days before start to perceive the effort. Deadpool does not neither a hero nor a superhero, but a simple mercenary. In the comic, Deadpool has a voice in the head, but sometimes in the film he saw that he speaks himself and he answers himself. Vanessa Carlyle Morena Baccarin is the girlfriend of Wade, and like in the comic, is a prostitute. In the film, she is not a mutant, but in the comics, yes. As she has a blue skin, white hair, and luminescent eyes. At the beginning, she is not a mutant, but when she turns on her mutant gene, this in addition gives her a superpower and also this aspect. Weasel, T.G. Miller, is the best friend of Wade Wilson, in the film manage a bar where very strange people spend his time. In the comic, his name is Jack Miller. He's a genius of army and sometimes he creates some gadgets for his friend Deadpool. Colossus, Androtico 2, is a mutant with the ability to transform his skin in pure steel. During the movie, Colossus always remains still and he has a size of a giant man, but in the comic he can decide when and which parts make steel. Furthermore, his appearance is that of a man of normal size. Blind doll Leslie Uggams is an old blind woman in which Deadpool shares the apartment after becomes Deadpool. In the comics, her past at the moment is unknown. Wade has held her at home for months, considering her a sort of mother. Megasonic, Brianna Hildebrand, is a mutant with the power to prime her like a localized nuclear bomb and frequent the school of Xavier for young mutants, but in the comics have a power of telepathy and take part of the class of telepathy of Emma Frost. Ajax, Ed Screen, is who experiment on Wade the mysterious substances that activate his mutant gene after having submitted him to incredible tortures. Also, he submitted to the same experiments and became a mutant, equipped with the reflection higher than normal, but he does not have any more the nerve endings. So he does not feel the pain. Unlike the comics, he is an assistant of Dr. Killer Brew, which cruelly manages the hospice facility. Francis, a sadistic and cruel man, Wade for a moment was convinced he had killed him, but he saw him again, only that in this encounter Ajax has a cybernetic body. The choice of these comics is that it takes my attention but the first time in which I read the comics because unlike to the other Marvel heroes like Captain America, Hulk, Spider-Man, Iron Man and Fantastic Four, Deadpool does not consider him nor a hero or a superhero, but only a simple mercenary. All of this we can see both in the film and the comics, when the Merc with a mouth declined to take part of the Avengers, due to he does not consider one of them. In addition, another characteristic that take my attention and take me to choose this comic is his sense of humor, which differentiated by the other Marvel heroes. In the comics, his sense of humor stands out more because in every comic doesn't miss the teasing of the all Marvel superheroes, but in the film less because thanks to the break of the fourth wall we previously explained, we tend to make fun with the audience.